All praises to Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham Makar double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elected nation of Israel. This is going to be a lesson reviewing or talking about the rulership of this world and asking people that claim that they are about righteousness and claim that they're about the Bible, can't you tell right now that the world is ran by people that worship the devil, man? And that in how they rule, we can also call them the devil, right? And this is for all people in the world that they want to claim that they're about the Bible and that they're about the scriptures. Well, can't you see then that the earth is currently in the hand of the wicked? Can't you tell that, right? If you want to try, people like to try and point out every single little thing that so-called black people do all the time, right? But if the things that so-called black people do are bad and are terrible, well then what the so-called white man's did in this earth is way worse. If stealing's a problem, right? Well then, okay, if stealing is a problem, well then how much more if you steal a whole country? How much more if you steal the natural resources from a land and are able to make billions from it, right? If a so-called black man doing a stick up and robbing a car is bad, well then robbing a whole country is worse then, right? If killing your own people that look like you is bad, well then okay, all of these world wars where so-called white people is killing people that look exactly the same as them, that's even worse than, correct? Job chapter 9 and verse 24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Right? If the earth ain't given into the hands of the wicked, well, who's worse then? Who can you find that worse, man? Like, did people not see that opening ceremony and the closing ceremony? Right? You could just tell and sense that there was on some wickedness in both, especially the opening one. Right? But that's their natural way of being, man. Them trying to legalize all of these things that they're trying to legalize and normalize all of these evil things that they're trying to normalize is their way of trying to make what they are about be legal, man. They're trying to make the world in their image, right? The way how they think righteousness is what the right way of living is. They're trying to make the world be like that. And they're not going to back down neither, right? They're making the world be how they want it to be, man. The wicked way that they think it is to live, that's how they want the world to be. That's how they're going to continually keep on doing it, man. Like, for example, man, a brother, like to actually see like the rainbow pattern, right, is not actually supposed to make you be sickened in your stomach, right? Because Joseph had a coat of many colors, right? Now, whether his coat was a rainbow print or whatever, or rainbow pattern on his clothes or not, we don't know exactly. But Joseph had a coat that had loads of different colors on there. He got given that from Jacob, right? So that is and his brothers was jealous of him because of that coat. Whereas right now in this world, if a brother decided that they wanted to have a rainbow colored clothing or something like that, right? That had all these different colors from the rainbow and from the color spectrum on his clothes, people might start looking at him sideways, thinking that his affiliation is towards that alphabet and then rainbow and stuff, when actually he's just honoring a covenant that Yahweh made with the whole earth, by where he said he's not going to flood the earth again, man. So that's another thing to look forward to in the kingdom. In the kingdom, we're going to claim the rainbow back, man. The rainbow that represents how Yahweh was never going to flood the earth again. We're going to have that back again, man. To where that's going to have its glory again, man. And if I'm not mistaken as well, the Israelite women used to wear like a rainbow print type of clothing to symbolize that there was a virgin back in ancient Israel too. Sirach chapter 10 and verse 1, a wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered. Now, in this world, right, if you're poor, right, you'll be mocked for being poor, right? But then at the same time, this world don't really even make it be a thing to where by just doing a standard job that this society needs, you can have enough to sustain yourself and to be able to put a roof over your head properly, right? But if you was living in a world where a wise judge was instructing the people, it wouldn't be like that. It wouldn't be like that, man. This world is just all the way round corrupt Like, people go to the gym, people do exercise and stuff like that, but then at the same time, most of the fitness people that are on YouTube and stuff like that, right? Most of them have had some kind of heart attack or some kind of major illness based on the diet that they promote, of just chasing around protein, man. Right? Just chasing protein and carbohydrates, just chasing it around, man. And even I've been a person that's been under that demon of just chasing how much protein you're eating in a day and all that. That's not a proper diet, man. That's not a proper diet. The way to really just do it is just worry about having a balanced diet, man, where you're getting all the macro and micronutrients into your body and not just chasing protein all around the earth, man. And to the point where the amount that they're telling you to have is so damn high that people end up going and running to protein powders because it will be way too expensive for the average person to get that amount of protein in their body, man. But this world promotes all this fitness stuff and that, but then at the same time, all the things that you'll be getting in every other way that are damaging your health. From the clothes to the music will be damaging your mental, to the things that's in the water, and all, it's just all the way around. This earth's wicked, to where people actually really know that the two choices for a president or prime minister are both corrupt, but in their gullibleness, they'll say, oh, but okay, he's 45% corrupt, and that person over there is 78% corrupt, so I may as well go with the one that's 45%, 55% corrupt, because that's the lesser of two evils, but they're both evil, dumbass. They're still both evil, right? If you had two bottles of water in front of you and you found out that one of them's got 50% of a poison, one of them's 50% poisonous, and the other one's 10% poisonous, don't drink none of them, because they're both poisonous, right? And people understand it if you put it to something like that. But when it comes to anything else, they can't get it, man. Verse 2, as the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers, and what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are they that dwell therein. And Babylon the Great's considered a city in the Bible, right? In Revelation 18, it's considered a great city. And the people that live in America, right, which that is Babylon the Great, they're bugged out, man. Now, the only people that are not bugged out in America are all the elect that are over there. But everyone else is a demon. And that's the same thing with everywhere else in the world. But the heaviest amounts of demons and bugged out people has got to be in America. Now, how can I make such a big statement to where I say that the biggest, most corrupt people are in America? Well, what does the Bible say is going to happen to Babylon the Great? Doesn't it say that that place is going to be completely destroyed off the face of the earth? Revelation chapter 18 and verse 4, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. And that's talking about all the elect to the nation of Israel that are there. They need to change their mind and be born again and remove their mind from thinking about the ways that that place thinks about them, because a lot of effort is gone into making that place be like what it is, man. Anything that you want to do in this world, right, exists in America. I don't think people really understand that. Anything that you can desire to do in the world can be done in America, and that's why is it not a known thing really that Americans don't really have passports? Is that not a known thing? And there's a reason for that. There's a reason why Americans have a low percentage of passports, really. Obviously, people can try and say otherwise now, oh, passport bros this and passport bros that and all of that. But that's still not that many people that are on that passport bros stuff. There's not really that many people in America. I mean, there's not really many that people that have passports over there because they don't need them. Because anything that they want to, if there's a type of food that exists in the world somewhere else, someone from that particular culture or country is going to be in America in some way, shape, or form, to where they can make that food in America and then people can get a taste of it in America. Verse 5, for her sins have reached unto heaven, and Yahweh remember their iniquities. Now let me jump down, because that place is going to be destroyed, man. Verse 9, and the kings of the earth who committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning, standing afar off for fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city, Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. People are they're gonna see the destruction of that place from other places in the world, right? From other places in the world, they're gonna know about what happened to America, man. It's gonna be made known to the world, just like how when Yahweh saved the Israelites from ancient Egypt and it was made known to the world, right? And when the Israelites started traveling through other places, Rahab the harlot, she'd heard about it and she made a deal, man. Like, I know you're gonna have to kill all these people, right? But don't kill me and my immediate family. And that's led to some people believing that now that means that she was part of the new covenant. But they obviously haven't heard the scripture that says this present time is not the end where much glory doth abide. So any little time when a heathen might have received mercy from an Israelite in some kind of way, that can be done because that was for that particular time way back then. If right now we open a door for a heathen or we do something nice for a heathen if we decide we want to, because we don't have to. Let's let that be known. If any of you heathens try and ask us for a favor in our personal lives and that, we don't have to do none of that stuff that you want. If we work on a job for you devils, then we'll have to do that stuff. But outside of the job, we don't have to do nothing that you people say like that you think we do, man. We don't have to, right? When we're just in our personal life, walking down the street, we don't have to bow down and eat grass like you people expect that we have to, man. We're not going to go around like lunatics and cause problems in people's lives, but we don't have to bow down to make you feel comfortable all the time in this world, man, especially considering this whole society has been made based around us never feeling comfortable, man. They've tried to make every single thing about us seem like it's weird, but then at the same time go out of their way secretly to try and find ways to copy it. And then when they can copy it, and when they find a way to do a lesser version of what we can do, now all of a sudden it's cool to do it now. Oh, we're big lip orangutan monkeys, but then now that they can charge women £5,000 for lip fillers or £500 for temporary lip fillers and all that, now it's cool to have that all of a sudden. Now when an Edomite woman that might just work at a train station has got lip fillers, right? Oh, now it's cool to have lip fillers, right? Now it's cool to have big lips. But before they had the ability to do that, I just think it's so weird. They're big lips. Yeah, right, man. Anything that Esau insults about us, right, are things that he really wishes he had. That's what we're coming to find out. If they mock our skin color, they really wish they had that. If they mock our hair, they really wish they had that. If they mock how we dance, they really wish they could do that. If they mock how we talk, they really wish they could do that. Because as soon as like for example, rap music, right? As soon as Eminem came around and started rapping, all of a sudden they love rap. But then he's not even an Edomite anyway, but they think he is because they go based on looks. Right? And if they can't straight up see a so-called black grandparent or grandfather or father, then they're like, well, he's just one of us. They're carnal, man. But as soon as they find somebody among their people that they think's from their people anyway that can do something, now all of a sudden it's cool, man. Let's get this. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 1 and verse 12. Seek not death in the era of your life, and pull not upon yourselves destruction with the work of your hands. For God made not death, for Yahweh made not death, neither have he pleasure in the destruction of the living. For he created all things that they might have their being, and the generations of the world were healthful, and there is no poison of destruction in them, nor the kingdom of death upon the earth. For righteousness is immortal. Now Esau is the complete opposite. Esau is the complete opposite of that, man. Esau is the complete opposite of all the things that Yahweh enjoys. And before anyone starts trying to read this, think that that Yahweh don't have a pleasure in destroying Esau, well, they'd have to read, if they think that includes Esau, they'd have to read Romans the 9th chapter, right? So this don't mean that Yahweh just loves every single person upon the earth. No, it don't mean that, because he clearly doesn't love Esau, right? And he clearly views the heathen as nothing. But when it comes to the Israelites and when it comes to animals and things like that, these are all things that Yahweh made for the Israelites' sake. Right? He made all of these things. And you know what? Let me get it. Let me read it. Because people are going to realize that this whole world was made really ultimately for the sake of the Israelites. And all the other people in the world are extras, man. If you watch a movie, right, like a Sopranos or The Wire or The Walking Dead, right? Certain times there is certain characters that they don't even have a name like that. They might be called waiter number 1, waiter number 2, and they might have one line. There might be a scene where they go into a coffee shop and the guy goes, "All right, love, I'll have a mocha," and she's like, "Yep, one mocha to go." Bam, that's the end of her thing in the TV show or in the movie or whatever. Right? There might be a scene where the star of the show, is walking down the street, and then a woman walks past him, and he goes, "Hi, cutie, how you doing?" And she smiles. She ain't even got no lines. Her role was to smile and then walk and shash her hips down the street and keep it moving. And that was the end of her thing. And that's the same thing for the heathen. They ain't got a role like what the Israelites have got, man. They ain't the same, and that's why they ain't had to go through the things that we've had to go through. Because they wanna try and make them be equal to Israelites, but then at the same time, if they was being treated equal for the Israel as us, they'd be going through a whole bunch of curses right now for how wicked they're living in, man. Whenever a Hamite decides to make a cow wee on his head so that he can get red hair, they'd be getting cursed for that. Imagine how much curses Esau would be going under just for that Olympic ceremony alone, right? If he was really under the covenant that the Israelites are under, imagine how much punishment he'd be getting. 2nd Ezra chapter 6 and verse 54, and after these Adam also, who now made us Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all, and the people also, whom thou hast chosen. Right? All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes. The world was made for the sake of the Israelites. It wasn't made for everyone, really. The heathen were made for the Israelites' sake. Now, people say, "Oh, nah, that's outrageous. I can't believe that you think such a evil thought of process as that." Well, Esau tries to go on like we was made for his sake. Right? Psalm chapter 2 and verse 8, "Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the utmost parts of the earth for thy possession." And if you knew that you had the ability to have that, why would you not want it? Right? This world don't mind us being their slaves. Right? This world don't mind us having to be made to bow down to everything that they're talking about all the time, right? This world don't mind us having to bow to them, and that we ain't got nothing going on for ourselves really as a whole nation, and that we have to go to them for the want of all things. They don't care. They're not sorrowful about us having to go to them for the want of all things. The Ishmaelites and the Elam, they're not sad that our women, right? That our women buy hair. Do you understand how much of a loony bin you gotta be? And you had that scenario in America, Babylon, where you had all these Israelite women queuing up outside of like the pile of hair, man. And the way they was queuing up outside of that hair, like lined up, just circling around the hair, man, reminding me of the scripture that where where the angel's gonna tell the crows to gather around the battle of Armageddon, man, the battle of Yahweh Shaphat, because they're gonna get ready to eat the flesh of kings, man. That's how they was lining up around that hair. Just despicable, right? But then at the same time, the Israelite one wants to try and complain about how the Israelite man doesn't have this and doesn't have that. But you don't have what you're supposed to have neither. So don't start talking up too much, and just know that you're effed up round here too. And then the top of all of it is Esau, man. Esau is the main root of all of this, and that's what a lot of Jakes don't want to speak about. That they don't want to speak about the real reason as to why all of this is happening, man. They want to try and let Esau slide, man. They want to try and let Esau slide, but he ain't gonna be let made to slide, man. He's gonna have to pay for what he's did. He's gonna have to. Which goes back to the topic of this video. Haven't you people realized that the world is in the hands of wicked people, man? They literally locked down the world for 3 years and told your ass, stay in your house. Apart from to go for 1 walk a day, right? 1 walk a day while they was doing ballroom dancing in the Houses of Parliament, man. You had some guy spinning gal around in a red dress, dancing with her like Strictly Come Dancing, man. Man was doing ballroom dancing with her while you're made to stay in your house. Issa had these people so shook that I know personally. Well, I don't know them, but somebody that I know knows this person and seen it with their own 2 eyes. That Issa had some of these people so shook, and these people was in Babylon the Great, by the way, which goes into how the people are dumb over there again. He had them wearing a mask inside their house, man. You understand? He had these people so dumb and so gullible that they were wearing a mask inside their house. Now, you think that a person like that ain't gonna take the charagma? If they was wearing a mask in their house, you're an idiot. And then this same person was boasting when they had the ability to get the C19 thing quicker. You know what I mean? Like, these people are lunatics, man. But let's read this scripture, Revelation chapter 13 and verse 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. So it's got to happen, man. It don't matter how much you want to cry. Nah, I don't think I should deserve to go through this. But you're going. Oh, but all people did this, and but all people did that. You're going. Oh, but it was my forefathers. You're going. Oh, but I was nice to you. You're going. Oh, but you're going. It don't matter what you say. It don't matter how nice she was. It don't matter how many of you Edomite women was freaking off with Jakes. When it's time, you're going, man. Here's the patience and the faith of the saints. There ain't no one that's going to escape that's other Edomite that's going to escape having to go through what's been prophesied for them to go through, man. Just like how we wasn't able to. If there was all those Israelites that tried to jump off the slave ships during the Atlantic slave trade, guess what? They still got born back again in the Atlantic slave trade as babies and was made to face the judgment that they had to go through for their sins. All the Israelites that rebelled when we was in captivity, they fought off and they did a good thing when they fought up, but they ended up getting killed, and then they would have been born back again and still had to pay again. And this time, because they didn't know freedom as much, now they would have been born into as a captive, and their mindset would have been completely different, maybe during the compared to the first life. So now they're gonna be easier to manipulate, man. Until they start waking up again and then realize, man. But you can't escape. If Yahweh wants to judge you, you're not gonna escape. Esau's not gonna escape. Did Pharaoh escape? Did Pharaoh escape judgment? Did all the people on the earth escape judgment when Yahweh brought the flood? Did the people of Sodom and Gomorrah escape judgment? Right? Did the Greeks escape judgment when it was time for them to start getting judged and get revenge put on them by the Israelites? No, they didn't. No one's ever escaped judgment that when Yahweh wanted to bring. Did the Babylonians escape judgment? Did the Persians escape judgment when it was their time? No. Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 1, for Yahweh will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land, and the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of Yahweh for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives, whose captives they were. So if we weren't never captives, then I guess we ain't never this ain't never gonna be done, then. So if no one ever had us as captives, they ain't got nothing to worry about. But if they did have us as captives, well, then they should be start shaking in their boots right about now. Because they're going to have to pay for all the things that they did to us. Now, if they didn't ever do nothing to us, they ain't nothing to worry about, right? But if they did do something to us, then there's a lot to worry about. And we already know the truth of the matter. They did a lot, and they're planning on doing a lot more. Whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors, and it shall come to pass that Yahweh that in the and it shall come to pass in the day that Yahweh shall give thee rest from thy sorrow and from thy fear. Because this is a scary ass world, man. Any day you come out your house, some bogged out Edomite can try and set you in a trap to make you act carnal, to get your ass arrested, man. That's what they're good for doing. And it doesn't really matter the size of the Edomite, man. Big, small, right? They're all weak, really. They're all weak, man. And they might talk a good game about carnal things, but then as soon as it gets given to them, the way that they were asking for, they start squealing, man. Like the pigs that they are. And it shall come from thy hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve, that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon the Great, not ancient Babylon, and say, how have the oppressor ceased, the golden city ceased? Yahweh have broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger, is persecuted and none hindereth. The whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing because everyone's going to be happy. Like Esau's got a completely different view of himself than what everybody else has got of him, man. And that's why he's the ultimate narcissist, because he thinks that when he's not in power no more, that the whole world's gonna fall back into back into some kind of primitive time where they're gonna be eating food with sticks. That's what he thinks, man. But it's actually gonna be the complete opposite, which shows how lost they are, man. Which takes me back to this scripture here, because at the same time as them talking a good game, when they're by themselves, man, they already know what time it is when they're amongst themselves. They already know certain parts of what's really going on, man. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 1 and verse 16, but ungodly men with their works and words called it to them. What did they call to them? They called to themselves death. For when they thought to have it their friend, they thought they had all these evil spirits and demons on lock. Oh, these spirits are rocking with us, man. We control these. We run these spirits, man. These spirits, they're helping us keep these Israelites oppressed, man. They're working with us. No, they're not. They're working for Yahweh to deceive you, so that the ass whooping that you're going to receive in the kingdom of heaven can be justified. But you, as a fool, with the fool you are, you call death to yourself, man. Which, what was you really calling to yourself? Sin. You made your world this most sinful place ever. Just do it. Do what you want. Everyone's everyone, and everything's everything. There's no genders. There's no nothing. Everything's allowed apart from righteousness. But ungodly men with their works and words called it to them. For when they thought to have it their friend, they consumed to naught and made a covenant with it. They've made a covenant with death because they are worthy to take part with it. They're worthy. The Edomites was made, right, to be completely exterminated according to Obadiah chapter 1 and verse 18. They're the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction. They was made for this purpose. So of course they're going to love death, right? Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2 and verse 1, for the ungodly said, reason with themselves, but not of right. Our life is short and tedious, and in the death of a man there is no remedy. Neither was there any man known to have returned from the grave, which is not true, because Yahweh shall return from the grave. And that's why it said, for the ungodly said, reason with themselves, but not of right. If 25,000 wicked individuals of Esau get together and start trying to talk about spiritual things in pertaining to the scriptures, what they're going to say is going to be cap. It's going to be bogged out because they can't understand justice properly. And that's why they get caught being hypocrites, man, because over here in the UK right now, you've had two attacks, man. You've had two attacks that took place, right? One done by some like bogged out looking Hamite, man. Some Hamite. And then the other one was done by Edomite, right? But whenever Esau does a crime, especially over here in the UK, man, it's amazing to see it in work. It's absolutely amazing how Esau in England, man, I don't know about nowhere else, but the English Edomite, man, it's amazing to see how they do it. If an Edomite commits a crime, right, and Edomites in England see it happen, right, they're like, oh, but he's Eastern European, so that's got nothing to do with me. And then if it happens to be that they're in the same country as that Edomite in England, and he thinks he's a higher class Edomite, oh, but Yeah, but he's from Birmingham. I'm from Devon, so that ain't got nothing to do with me. And then if the criminal happens to be from Devon, well then they'd be like, well, but his tax bracket was not the same as my tax bracket, so what that crime ain't got nothing to do with me because you know and then if it happens to be that the guy lived on the same road as him, but he voted for this MP of the town and I voted for another MP of the town. Whatever way Esau can go about trying to disassociate himself from a crime that's committed, he's always going to do it over here in the UK, man. But then whenever anyone of any other race or any other belief system does a crime, that's the carpet blanket statement of all of them are like that. And I'm not backing down. Every single one of them is. And they better prove to me that they're not. But even when they prove to me that they're not, I'm gonna still be looking at them like they are that. That's how Esau does it, man. It's actually ridiculous to see all the twists and turns that they've been doing now. That this guy did what he did in Leicester Square. You know what I mean? They ain't got none of the same terms to say as what they said with the other thing. Yeah, you know what I mean? He's mad, and that's why that thing that happened with that woman Sarah Everard, man, that really shook these Edomites up because it was a police officer that did it, and that's who Esau tries to make out like he's some of their most upstanding citizens in this world among Esau. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2 and verse 2. For we are born at all adventure, and we shall be hereafter as though we had never been. For the breath of our nostrils is as a smoke, and a little spark in the moving of our heart, which being extinguished, our body shall be turned into ashes, and our spirit shall vanish as the soft air. And that's how these Edomites think, man. They think, man, as long as I can live as wickedly as I want to do, right? I don't really care. I'll let my grandchildren and my children have to deal with the aftermath of what I did. Fuck them. that's how they think. And let me back that up with a scripture, man. That's how they think, right? And that's why they get mad at their forefathers because they're thinking that they're going to be reproached for their forefathers' sake, but really they are those forefathers because reincarnation exists. Sirach chapter 41 and verse 7, the children will complain of ungodly father because they should be reproached for his sake. So they just want to enjoy the wealth that their forefathers built up, but they don't want to have to deal with the crimes of what their forefathers did. And that's the same as all the young Edomites right now, man. They when they get older, if they was to get older in this kingdom and Esau would still be in charge, if it was to happen like that, right? They're trying to be like, oh, but all the things that my forefathers did in the for the last 100 years, that ain't got nothing to do with me because I was a kid then. That's got nothing to do with me. That's them that did that. Leave me alone. I ain't got nothing to do with that. And they'd want to just sail off into the sunset. And they'd be like, man, my grandchildren and my children and my great grandchildren, they can have to deal with the aftermath of this stuff. I'm just gonna ride this rulership till the wheels fall off, and to hell with my descendants, man. And that's what Esau did. Esau himself, when he decided to sell his birthright, he wasn't thinking about his descendants afterwards. He wasn't thinking about his children that he was gonna have. He was thinking about his belly. You understand? He wasn't. But when Jacob asked for the birthright, right, he was thinking about his descendants afterwards, man. Which ultimately, it was always prophesied to be different Israelites anyway. But it shows how they're two completely different types of men, man. Two manner of people separated from the bowels of Rebekah. Verse 3. Which being extinguished, our body shall be turned to ashes, and our spirit shall vanish as the soft air. And our name shall be forgotten in time, and no man shall have our works in remembrance. And our life shall pass away as the trace of a cloud, and shall be dispersed as a mist that is driven away with the beams of the sun, and overcome with the heat thereof. For our time is a very shadow that passeth away, and after our end there is no returning, for it is fast sealed that no man can come again. And that's why they don't believe in reincarnation. They think as long as I can live my life out, I've got away with all the crimes. If I can do all this wickedness and then I end up dying when I decide I want to, and they might even think I might just get rid of myself, then I got away with it all. I'm not going to have to pay for none of this stuff. And I made up that hell thing for these people to believe in, but I don't believe in that, which is not real to believe in anyway. That hell thing is not real, man. Burning in hell forever, that's not real. Verse 5, for our time is a very shadow that passeth away, and after our end there is no returning, for it is fast sealed that no man cometh again. Come on, therefore, let us enjoy the good things that are present. Let us speedily use the creatures like as in youth. Let us fill ourselves with costly wine and ointments, and let no flower of the springs pass by us. And this really is the mindset of the elite Edomite, because they could give two Fs about you lower level Edomites, man. They don't business about y'all. They barely even care about each other with how wicked they are, man. But they really for damn sure don't care about you low level Edomites, man. And they ain't prepared to trust you with the real information and what's necessary for you to get success in the world, which is how they made a covenant with death. But ungodly men, verse 16, but ungodly, Wisdom of Solomon 1, verse 16, but ungodly men with their works and words called it to them. For when they thought to have it their friend, they thought they understood these demons, man. And you want to know what the proof on that is? Let me get it right now, man. The proof on how they thought they had these things as their friend, man. These evil spirits and death and sin. They thought they had sin under control and they had it on lock. And they thought they had these spirits and demons and all this esoteric knowledge. Oh, we're going to use this number and this symbol. And we're going to make this statue here and this thing here and this thing there. Right? They thought they had it on lock, but it's not going to work one day. Isaiah chapter 47 and verse 10, for thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, thou hast said, none seeth me, thy wisdom and thy knowledge have perverted thee, and thou hast said in thine heart, I am and none else beside me. Therefore shall evil come upon thee, thou shalt not know from whence it riseth, and mischief shall fall upon thee, thou shalt not be able to pull it off, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. Stand now with thine enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast laboured from thy youth. If so be, thou mayest be able to profit. If so be, thou mayest prevail. They thought, listen, man, they really thought that they had this thing on lockdown, man. And that's why when you actually watch the people that follow after how Esau does all of his madness behind the scenes, right? They just do the same thing over and over again, right? They'll be like, okay, every this amount of years we're gonna do this. Every that amount of years we're gonna do that. It's not nothing crazy deep, man. And that's why one day it's not going to work anymore, because Yahweh's just been fooling these clowns. Wisdom of Solomon chapter, let me read that last bit in fact again. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 1 and verse 16. But ungodly men with their works and words called it to them. For when they thought to have it their friend, they consumed to naught and made a covenant with it, because they are worthy to take part with it. Now back to this. Verse 7. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2 and verse 7. Let us fill ourselves with costly wine and ointments, and let no flower of the spring pass by us. Let us crown ourselves with rosebud before they be withered. Let none of us go without his part in voluptuousness. Let us leave tokens of our joyfulness in every place. For this is our portion, and our lot is this. Let us oppress the poor righteous man. Let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient grey hairs of the age. They don't, when in their rulership, they're not thinking about helping the people that are downtrodden. They're thinking about putting their foot on their head, man, and keeping them down as far as they can, especially the righteous, man. He says it right there. Let us oppress the poor righteous, man. When Esau sees a person that believes in Yahweh, or Hashem Yahweh Shai, that really gets on their nerves, man. And they seek to try and find a way to destroy them, man. And if they even sense that you might be righteous in any kind of way, they'll try and destroy you. It's funny to them to do that. Damn demons. Verse 11. Let our strength be the law. In fact, verse 10. Let us oppress the poor righteous man. Let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient grey hairs of the age. Let our strength be the law of justice, for that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth. And that's Esau's spirit of, if it bleeds, you know, that Arnold Schwarzenegger Predator, Terminator kind of spirit, man. If it bleeds, we can kill it. That's that demonic way. If it bleeds, I can kill it. I don't care about none of that righteous talk. My strength is going to be the law of justice. So I'm going to increase every single time I'm scared about something. I'm not going to start becoming righteous now. I'm going to find a way to stop that from happening again. I'm going to find a way to stop me having to worry about that fear through increasing my strength. Okay, These people are saying that this and that and this is going to happen, that their Lord Yahushua is going to come back from the heavens. Okay, well, instead of me changing my ways and becoming righteous, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make a space force. And if he does decide to show himself, I'm going to be out there in space. And I'm going to meet him out there. And I'm going to shoot laser beams at him. And I'm going to make sure that I've got a military down on Earth as well, so that we can fight against him there too. I'm not going to stop doing what I'm doing. My strength's going to be the law of justice. Okay, these people on the earth, they're trying to tell me that I'm wicked. Well, okay, I'm going to increase my army strength so that if they decide that they want to try and do something about how wicked I am, I'm going to be able to put them all in their place, because my strength is going to be the law of justice, because I've tested the waters, and everything that's ever feeble doesn't ever seem to be able to come up against my strength. That's how they think, man. Verse 12, let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn, and is clean contrary to our doings. He upbraideth us with our offending the law, and objecteth to our infamy, the transgressions of our education. He professeth to have the knowledge of Yahweh, and he calleth himself the child of the Most High. He was made to reprove our thoughts. So they know that we ain't the same as them, and that we're there to burn out how they live, man. The so-called black man is the main one. The Latino and the Native American, they're Israelites too. But the main one that Esau really be putting the effort in to kick down, man, is Judah. Judah's the main one that Esau really hates their guts, man. Amalek really hates Judah. Judah and Amalek have really got like a battle between each other, man. And that's why Herod, man. Herod, I would have to assume, would have been Amalek. We know he was an Edomite, but I would have to assume he was Amalek as well. That particular tribe, man. And he tried to kill Yahushua when Yahushua was a baby. Who's from which tribe? Judah. Right? Back to this. Verse 15, he is grievous unto us even to behold. And that's why sometimes in this world, man, you just catch an Edomite looking at you with that weird smile, man, where they've probably thought about killing you in their mind or something like that. You just catch them smiling to themselves. And then if you call it out in some way, shape or form, or you just catch them looking at you, they'll do that stupid smile. But if you let them know through your actions or through how you carry yourself, you don't like them neither, then all of a sudden they have the nerve to try and get offended when they don't like us anyway. But they'll try and go out of their way to try and pretend like they like us. Mate, just leave us alone. We know you don't like us. Leave us the hell alone, man. Verse 16, we are esteemed of him as counterfeits. He abstaineth from our ways as from filthiness. He pronounceth the end of the just to be blessed, and maketh his boast that Yahweh is his father. Let us see if his words be true, and let us prove what shall happen in the end of him. And they already tried this once with Yahushua, man. Way back in time. And they're going to try it again with the elect, because they are Israelites doing experiments, man. And they're going to do an experiment to see, okay, these so-called black people are saying that if we start trying to corrugment the world, which is one of our plans, that in that time their Lord's going to come back, and that they're thinking that their Lord's going to come back during the midst of World War III. So let's see if that's true, man. That's how they think. They're like, yeah, okay, let's see then. They're saying it. We've heard about this. Let's see if it's true. I'm interested to see if that's true now. They've sparked my interest. And we know that they're going to find out that it's true, because here, when they see Yahushua come back, they're not going to be under no illusions of who it is that's coming back. They're going to know exactly who it is, man. Because they've been told already by the people that Yahweh set up to tell them, man. Revelation chapter 6 and verse 13, and the stars of heaven fell up onto the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind. And the heavens departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island moved out of their places. And the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every free man hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains, and said unto the mountain, and said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us, and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, which is Yahweh, and from the wrath of the Lamb. So they're gonna know who it is that's coming for them when all hell breaks loose, and that they've gone through World War III, and that they've shot off the nukes. They're going to know who it is that's going to show up in that time, man. That's going to be one of the most crazy heavenly revelations that anyone's ever seen in their life, man. There's never going to be a situation that's more magnificent than that day where the world, if you could just capture that moment on camera, right, you would probably end up watching that for a whole year non-stop, man, to just catch everyone's reactions, man, and what they're going to be like when they really see that Yahweh Shai actually does exist, man. And it's going to come at a time where the earth's as scary as you could ever be. Everyone's going to be terrified of how they're about to get burnt to death if they're not of the elect by nuclear fire, especially in Babylon the Great. There's going to be crazy civil wars going on, race wars, class wars. You didn't vote for the same person as me, all of this different stuff. And then nukes are going to be shot off. And then at the same time as that, Yahweh Shai is going to come back, man. Verse 17, for the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? They're going to know exactly who it is. But at the same time, they're trying to test and do experiments to try and see, okay, they're saying this, so let's see if it's true. Let us examine verse 19, verse 18, in fact. For if the just man be the son of God, he will help him and deliver him from the hand of his enemies. Let us examine him with despitefulness and torture, that we may know his meekness and prove his patience. Let us condemn him with a shameful death, for by his own saying he shall be respected. And they already did a shameful death on Yahweh Shai, right? They mocked him when they was killing him, man. And the shameful death that they're planning on giving to the elect of the nation of Israel is in Revelation 24 with beheadings, man. Such things did they imagine and were deceived, for their own wickedness have blinded them. So they're thinking it's going to go one way, but it's not going to go the way that they think it's going to go, because in their experiment, they're going to realize that the Israelites was telling the truth. They're going to realize that they was told the layout of the plan and that it's actually going to go that way. As for the mysteries of Yahweh, they knew them not, neither hoped they for the wages of righteousness, nor discerned the reward for blameless souls. So they think that it's hilarious, the stuff that we're saying, to some degree, man. The earthly things that we talk about, they can agree with the earthly things, but in terms of the heavenly things, they can't really believe that, man. It's foolishness to them for them to believe the heavenly things that we believe in. They're like, what? They're like, you believe what? Nah, that's not real, bruv. They don't believe that. For Yahweh created man to be immortal and made him to be an image of his own eternity. Nevertheless, through envy of the devil came death into the world, and they that do hold of his side do find it. Right now, I'm going to end the lesson there, man, because people should be able to see by now that this earth is being ran by weird, wicked people, man. But they're trying to make out like someone that they vote for is going to somehow be out of the realms of this, which is ridiculous, man. Because the people that they vote for went through the same process to be considered as a candidate for you to vote for them anyway. You know what I mean? They went through the same exact process. They know these people more than they know you. So I don't understand what you're thinking about. Oh, this person that I vote for is going to be better than that person. No, they all went through the same process to get in that situation in the first place, man. And then now I'm going to end the video. Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. Shalom.